Stephen King. Me and Stephen King go way back. Well, we don't, but I have read a great many of his books, both, in this case, new and old, and I am quite the fan. I believe I've reviewed 2 of his books on this channel already, and here comes another. A tale of kidnapping and conspiracy. A tale of children, friendship, and endurance. Welcome to DanWhiteBooks, and today I'll be reviewing Stephen King's The Institute. Written only last year in 2019, The Institute takes you to a dark and brooding world where kidnapping is commonplace, although not as common as you'd think. You see, roughly 800,000 children go missing in the United States each year, and although most are found, thousands are not. We meet Luke Ellis, a 12-year-old prodigy and a child genius who excels in multiple fields of intelligence. He has his life ahead of him and looks forward to progressing to university, even at such a very young age. The future is bright for Luke and his mind is racing with thoughts and ideas. He's excited to take such a big step in his studies. He awakes one night in a daze and is wholly confused as to what's happening around him. The world is unclear. Someone sprays him with an aerosol can and he slips back into a deep slumber. When he opens his eyes, he is in a room somewhat similar to his own. I say somewhat because there are subtle differences. Things don't seem to add up. His poster is on the wall, his desk is where it should be, but things aren't right. And where there's normally a glass window, now there is just a solid brick wall. What is this place? Dazed and confused, Luke stumbles into a corridor where multiple doors are lined. Sitting down is a girl with a cigarette in her mouth. She looks no more than 14 years old. As he gets closer, he can see that the item in her mouth is one of the fake cigarette sweets convenience stores sold long ago. He swears they were banned, but not here. Not in the Institute. The Institute, what is this place? Luke befriends the girl sitting in the corridor. He's then led out to the front yard where a play area is set up and multiple kids are running about. There's a trampoline in the corner and even a cafeteria in the adjacent building. Luke is in what the staff call front half, and although the yard is littered with activities, this is no playpen. It would be too cliche to say that Stephen King has a way with words, but undoubtedly that statement is true. Luke's parents have been murdered and he has been kidnapped. He waits in a cushy prison running experiments on children until their sanity dissolves to nothing. In front half they are tested on special abilities like telekinesis and telepathy and injected with shots that bring about lights and dots in their vision. In back half they are forced to watch bizarre films that slowly erode their minds. If at any point they resist to any of these tests, they are punished in unruly ways. In this madness, these children form a bond, and along with Luke's intellect, it is this bond that keeps them alive. We meet multiple characters, we see shocking things, we feel heartbreak, anguish, and sorrow. It's an emotional ride that has you at the front seat, centralised mostly within the Institute and its horrible staff and their ever sadistic practices. Stephen King creates a tale demonstrating both the best and worst in humanity, showing sacrifice and perseverance. And as done so well in previous books where children are the centre stars, King brings about memorable bonds, not quite on par with It, but even getting close to those standards is something of excellence, and that's certainly something this book is inching for. And there really are a few areas of critique. My one dislike was perhaps certain imagery which verges into the weird and not so wonderful, but it's a minor detail and does not distract from this gripping tale. This imagery sometimes we may have seen before in another Stephen King book. I'm not going to mention it, something about a turtle and a universe. But it's a brilliant book and very moving, touching in parts. And Stephen King does that thing he does so well where he brings such terrible circumstances and shows how people can come together and persevere through such tough times. We're plunged into a tale with a boy who's essentially lost everything, but he finds hope and salvation in his will to survive and his friendship with the other characters. At parts it is sad, at parts it is quite dark, but it comes together and marries itself in quite a beautiful way. And it's surprising because Stephen King has been writing for years and years and years, and despite this he's still able to wang out a classic, I'll say a banger. He's still able to bring out a great book. and that is no exception here. So what would I rate it? Stephen King's The Institute. A new read, still in hardback. I would rate this a 9 or a 90 out of 100. Very good, great characters, memorable, a gripping story. Keeps you there from start to finish. You're in the Institute, you spend most of your time there, and you're really attached to these characters in a special way. And that's a great thing with a book like this, where you go away and you remember most of the characters' names without even trying. And Stephen certainly does a wonderful job at doing this. This is one of the styles of writing he very much excels at, that bond between friends, especially when they're younger, and coming over adversity, no matter how difficult. So Stephen King's The Institute, a 90 out of 100. I am Dan White. Please keep safe out there. There's some difficult times recently going on, so look after yourselves. This is DanWhiteBooks. If you enjoyed this book review, please subscribe to my book channel at DanWhiteBooks. You can follow me at Goodreads, at goodreads.com/DanWhiteBooks, and there will be a link below, and I definitely recommend you check this one out, or you'll be able to buy this book and support this little channel. I have a few more books lined up. I am already reading, it's not in here, the Necronomicon, that's it, by H.P. Lovecraft, which is a monster of a book, and I have certainly a lot to say on that. I'm also reading The Testaments by Margaret Atwood, and I hope to have that up next, but for the time being, check this book out. Very good, I would recommend it. Beautiful, beautiful book cover. Apparently there's a limited edition purple one from Smith's, which I didn't get my hands on, but we've still got this one. Check it out. Let me know your thoughts in the comments if you have already read this, or if you're thinking about reading it. I will respond to all of them. I've got the time. And of course, keep safe out there. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.